Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that takes your sources and finds the absolute best nuggets of knowledge and insight just for you.
Great to be digging in.
Today, we're diving into some really fascinating material you've shared, looking at different approaches to management.
Yeah, we're comparing Japanese and Western styles. We've got a great case study on a Honda plant, some core Toyota principles, and this really interesting concept called Omikoshi management.
Exactly. Our mission really is to unpack all this, find the key takeaways, and understand, what makes these systems tick.
Especially the Japanese perspective, which is often quite different, and this idea of maybe combining them.
That's the really intriguing part. So we'll trace the roots of Western management, then explore the philosophy behind companies like Toyota and Honda.
We'll definitely get into that Omikoshi idea and then talk about what happens when these worlds meet, what it means for you, the listener.
Should be good. Get ready for some unexpected insights. Let's jump in. Okay, so let's set the stage first with Western management. I mean, organizing people is ancient, right? But the formal study of it really kicked off with mass production, Industrial Revolution, and all that.
Right. Late 1700s onwards, factories got big, fast, and they needed, structure. And that initially led to very top-down command and control approaches.
The sources mention that early on, like early 20th century, some places felt like dictatorships.
Yeah, that's the word used. Managers decided everything, employees just did it. Very hierarchical, purely about efficiency through, tight control.
Stark image. But then people started trying to systematize it. Who are the big names early on?
Well, Frederick Winslow Taylor is fundamental, the father of scientific management. Around 1911, his big thing was systematic observation.
Okay.
You scientifically analyze the work, simplify jobs, find the, quote, one best way, and managers and employees would, work together to implement it. That was his idea.
So data over guesswork.
Pretty much. And dividing tasks, managers plan, workers execute. That became Taylorism. It went global. The insight. Productivity through science applied to the work itself.
Right. So what about Henri Fayol? Where did he fit in?
Fayol was French around the same time. He looked broader at the functions of management.
Functions.
Yeah, his 5 core ones. Planning, organizing, coordinating, commanding, and controlling. Plus 14 principles, like division of work.
Okay.
But interestingly, he stressed flexibility, not rigid rules. So the insight is management involves different activities, and it needs judgment.
Flexibility even then. Okay. And Max Weber, bureaucracy. Sounds negative today, but he saw it differently.
He did. Weber, a sociologist, saw bureaucracy as the most rational way to organize big groups.
Rational how?
Hierarchy, clear authority lines, chain of command, fixed roles, rigid division of labor, decisions based on rules, not who you know, experts hired based on qualifications.
I see.
The insight was impartiality, rules, expertise that equals efficiency, removing favoritism, and, confusion.
Structure, rules, expertise. Got it. And Luther Halsey Gulick.
Gulick, built on Fayol, gave us POSDCOB, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting.
That's the acronym.
Yeah. His insight was treating administration like a design science, something you could systematically improve.
Okay, so that's the classical era. Structure, process, roles. But then things shifted, right? 1920s, 30s, neoclassical.
Big shift. The focus moved from just the work and structure to the people doing it. The human element really came into play. Human relations school.
And Elton Mayo was key there.
Absolutely. Father of human relations. He brought psychology in. The Hawthorne experiments, they were huge.
What did they show?
Well, the surprising insight was that psychological stuff, feeling valued, group dynamics, just being paid attention to, often boosted productivity more than, say, changing the lighting or pay.
Wow. That must have been a shock for managers focused only on the mechanics.
Definitely. And Abraham Maslow fits here too. Hierarchy of needs.
Right. Physiological, safety, love.
Esteem, self-actualization, the insight. People aren't just motivated by money or basic needs. Managers needed to think broader to really motivate.
Makes sense. And Douglas McGregor, theory X, theory Y.
Yeah, contrasting beliefs. Theory X, people dislike work, need control. Theory Y, people can be trusted, empowered.
Okay.
The insight was that a manager's core belief about people shapes everything, their style, how employees respond. And Irving Yannis looked at groupthink.
Groupthink.
Yeah, how smart groups can make terrible decisions because nobody wants to rock the boat, suppressing dissent. Another crucial insight about group dynamics.
So neoclassical brings in the people factor. What about more modern Western approaches?
They get more complex. Quantitative methods, stats, models, optimization came out of things like WWII logistics. Insight. Solve complex problems with math.
Right.
Then contingency theory, key insight. No one best way. Effectiveness depends on fitting the organization to its specific situation. The it depends theory.
Yeah, always a safe answer. It depends.
Huh. Well, it's often true. And systems theory views the organization like a body interrelated parts. Insight, change one part, it affects others. Can't optimize in isolation.
And any later key thinkers.
Alfred Chandler, strategy and structure. Insight, structure follows strategy. How you compete dictates how you organize. And Peter Drucker, of course, a huge figure.
Drucker's big ideas.
Organization as a social institution. And really relevant for later, seeing the employee as an asset, not a cost. Needing motivation, training. He also pushed decentralization, simplification.
Okay, so summing up the West, starts top-down, structure-focused, the hard S's, like strategy, structure, systems, then gradually adds people, systems thinking, contingency, more complex.
Exactly. Understanding the machine and the people, but often, leading with the framework, the quantitative stuff.
Right. Now let's pivot, the Japanese approach. Your sources stress these deep philosophical roots. Very different starting point.
Totally different. Things like Confucianism, respect, hierarchy, but also harmony, education, hard work, Buddhism, harmony again, learning, loyalty, Bushido duty, honor.
And these aren't just like abstract ideas.
No, they directly shape workplace expectations. Loyalty, relationships, collective focus. It's embedded.
And post-WWII, specific structures emerged reflecting this, though maybe influenced by some American ideas too.
Yeah, the sources point to 3 classical pillars. Lifetime employment, Shushinkoyo.
Right. Stay with one company forever.
Seniority-based wages, Nenko Joretsu. And enterprise unions, Kigyobetsu. The insight. Employment as a long-term social pact. Fostered loyalty, stability. Very different from the more transactional West back then.
But beyond structure, it's the systems, like Toyota's TPS, that really made waves globally.
Absolutely. TPS, often misunderstood as just in time. It's way more holistic. Developed over decades, starting with Sakichi Toyota.
Okay.
The core insight is ruthlessly eliminating waste muda in all forms. To cut costs, yes, but also to smooth flow, improve quality, and crucially, respect people.
And the TPS house helps visualize this.
It does. It protects the business and the people. The groundwork is the philosophy. Respect for people, long-term thinking, and Kaizen, continual improvement.
Respect for people sounds nice,
Yeah.
but how is it practical in TPS?
It's critical. Creating a secure environment where people can contribute, things like mentor programs, promoting from within people who know the work, being mindful of impact on others, stable employment. That Raymond training example during COVID is powerful. Instead of layoffs, they trained people.
Investing in assets.
Exactly. That long-term view, squirrel away money for rainy days, a real contrast to quarterly pressures.
And Kaizen, continual improvement.
It's disciplined, structured, incremental improvement. The insight is everyone everywhere is always looking for small ways to make things better, challenging the status quo together.
Okay, that's the base. What's the house built on?
The foundation is order, efficiency, standards, optimized workspaces, clear standards for tasks. That workstation litmus test is a great example.
A litmus test.
Yeah, if an operator can't spot what's missing from their setup in 5 seconds, the standard isn't good enough. Insight. Make work easy, obvious through clear standards.
Okay, and the pillars holding up the roof.
Just in time and continuous flow. JIT means having exactly what you need when you need it. Avoid waste like waiting or excess inventory.
But isn't JIT risky? Like with supply chains?
Well, the insight is reliable flow, not necessarily zero inventory. Your source clarifies this with Toyota's chip stocking after the 2011 quake. That wasn't ditching JIT.
No.
No, it was proactive risk management based on an old plan, securing critical parts to ensure continuous flow. It's flexible, focused on flow, and eliminating wasted time.
Flow is the real goal, not just low inventory.
Got it.
And the core of the house.
People development, growing skills, competence, leaders, promoting from within because they know the work, products, customers, ties right back to respect for people.
Makes sense? Other elements.
Teamwork supporting the front line. And go and see Gemba. Crucial. Insight. When there's a problem, don't just look at reports. Go to the actual place. See it. Talk to the people. Like that forklift counterweight example, seeing the process revealed the simple fix. Or the cider company needing clarity, not racks.
Direct observation.
And challenge. Aiming high. Seeing problems as opportunities to improve.
It sounds like TPS is fundamentally about designing processes through people, not just controlling them.
That's a key insight. Instead of who messed up, it's what in the process allowed this? How do we fix the process?
What about TQM? Total quality management.
Also grew big in Japan post-WWII, influenced heavily by Americans' Deming and Juran's statistical process control problem solving. The Union of Japanese Scientists and Engineers pushed it.
To improve quality perception.
Exactly. The insight of TQM quality is built in everywhere, by everyone, not just inspected at the end. The West only really caught on in the 80s, seeing Japan's success. Juran added that quality has multiple dimensions: design, reliability, not just defect-free.
And the Ringi system. Sounds very Japanese.
Classic consensus building. A proposal, ring a show, goes around, gets input, stamps, but the key part is informal. Nimawashi.
Nimawashi. Root binding.
Yeah. Essential pre-meeting chats. The insight: build consensus before the formal decision. Get buy-in, glue people into the process up front, avoids conflict later.
Harmony built into the process.
Okay.
And William Olchi's Theory Z tried to blend these worlds.
Yeah, early 80s. Looked for a hybrid. Theory Z stressed loyalty, stable employment, employee well-being on and off the job.
Sort of paternalistic.
Kind of. The insight was this caring approach boosts productivity, morale, commitment, suggesting Japanese success wasn't just systems, but culture, too.
Which links to the 7 S's.
Exactly. Pascal and Athos. Hard S's, strategy, structure, systems were the West focus. Soft S's, staff, skills, style, superordinate goals where Japan often excelled.
And the soft S's.
Their insight, they're the lubricant. They make the hard S's actually work. Great strategy, perfect system, useless without the right people. Skills, style, shared goals.
That feels really important. The soft stuff isn't fluffy, it's essential.
Foundational, really, for long-term performance.
Speaking of performance, let's go to that Honda plant in Lincoln, Alabama. A real-world example from your sources.
Fascinating place. The source says the atmosphere is reminiscent of a medical center.
Medical center.
Yeah, starts with the landscaping deliberately nice.
Yeah.
Primarily for our associates. Sets a tone. Then inside, impeccably tidy. They saw one screw out of place on a tour.
Wow.
Everything has a place. White uniforms, people with clipboards, constantly taking notes, data charts.
That level of order and data?
Mm-hmm.
Very intentional. How's it structured?
Broadly, production maintenance assets building cars, and plant services assets not building cars. Buildings, utilities, janitorial, grounds.
And plant services has this key philosophy.
Right. We want to remove the distractions that take the focus away from building a car. Their job is support, taken very seriously, so production can just focus on production.
Removing distractions like
reliable power, comfortable temperature, clean bathrooms. That example of a worker distracted by being cold. Plant services aims to prevent that. Even the nice landscaping is part of it. Signals that the environment matters, supports focus.
So it's creating the foundation. What about when things do fail?
They use a structured problem analysis wheel. First, detailed problem analysis. Then, check the emergency response time.
Like the chillers shutting down in July? Took 2 hours to restart.
Yeah, and the manual restart taking that long was the issue they analyzed, revealed a dependency. Then, true root cause analysis. Dig deep. For the chillers, it wasn't operators, it was PLC firmware.
Oh, okay.
Then PM analysis, tweak preventive maintenance if needed, not in the chiller case. And finally...
information sharing.
Exactly. Share findings globally. Problems are expensive lessons, only pay once. The insight, learn, but share the learning widely.
Very collaborative. How do they try to avoid failures?
Detect and diagnose. It's tech plus human senses. Predictive maintenance tools, yes, but also sight, sound, smell.
Human senses.
Yeah, the insight is people can catch subtle things tech misses. That example of an associate smelling ozone from an arcsing switch.
That's amazing. He smelled it.
Smelled it, reported it, fixed before it caused downtime, and the cleanliness helps that. Wipe down gear, no clutter. Makes any change, a leak, a noise, a smell stand out.
Cleanliness as a detection tool. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And very data-driven overall.
Oh, yeah. Honda's an engineering company. Data on everything. Color-coded reports, green, yellow, red, shared globally. Allows quick checks, comparisons.
Well, it really fits that Soyakiro Honda quote.
Superior products don't result from an attitude that allows disarray, untidiness, and uncleanliness.
Exactly. Lincoln aims for physician-like diagnosis skills and surgeon-like precision in removing those distractions.
Okay, so we've seen Western evolution, Japanese philosophy and systems, Honda putting it into practice. Now this really unique concept, Omikoshi management. Where does that term come from?
From the Mikoshi, a portable shrine in Japanese festivals. Big, heavy, like 500 to 1,000 kilos. Needs lots of people, maybe 30-plus ball carrying it together. Symbol of community pride. Okay. A heavy load, shared. How's that a management metaphor?
It describes a style focused on collective effort, group responsibility, job rotation, insight. Create harmony where people contribute to the group goal. Key part. Younger staff involved in decisions, bottom-up teamwork, blurs the lines.
So everyone's carrying, hard to tell who's doing what exactly.
Pretty much. Hard to measure individual effort, spot the leader, or even if someone's slacking, because it's collective, voluntary. Middle management works with top management, but it's middle management and employees carrying the top level, like the shrine. Top gives vision, trusts the carriers to manage the journey.
The source lists 3 implications that sound really different from the West.
They really do. First, no blame responsibility for accidents or failure, like if the Mikoshi bumps something, it's a deed of God, collective fate. In the company, everyone is responsible, and therefore no one in particular is responsible. Shared burden, not individual fault.
Wow, that's a huge departure from individual accountability.
It is. Second implication, no evaluation of individual effort. Can't measure who is carrying how much weight on the Mikoshi. Individual performance isn't tracked or blamed that way. Focus is group effort.
Again, contrasts with performance reviews.
Exactly. And third, focus on effort, the struggle, carrying the weight over speed or the most direct route. The goal is keeping the Mikoshi moving via collective effort. Since everyone thinks that way, that becomes the goal. Sustained collective effort.
So the insight is the act of shared struggle is valued more than hyper-efficiency or blame. It's about the group.
Yes, prioritizing the collective process, the carrier's well-being over just transactional metrics. The source links this directly to the soft S's, staff, skills, style, goals, where Japanese firms often excel due to that cultural collectivism.
And the study argues that adding these Omikoshi ideas, people focus, shared responsibility, less hire and fire to Western models, could actually boost efficiency.
That's the claim. By valuing people in this collective way, you reduce conflict, boost morale, commitment, which makes the whole system work better, more productive, more resilient.
Which leads to the big question. Can you actually embed Omikoshi principles into Western management? Would it work?
The study argues, yes, it's possible and maybe even beneficial. It points to trends already happening in the West since the 2000s.
Like what?
Like the decline of the heroic individual leader. Decision-making is more decentralized. Leaders expected to motivate, support, not just command. CEOs have less absolute control.
So Western management is already shifting in ways that kind of align.
That's the insight. Omikoshi's emphasis on middle management support and collective effort fits with these shifts away from pure top-down command. It resonates with the idea of a shared burden.
Like Drucker's employee as asset idea.
Exactly. The study suggests adopting some of that paternalism, that deep focus on teamwork from Omikoshi, could make Western systems more effective. Even if the West values individual initiative, Omikoshi offers a way to promote group action, reinforce that individual success is organizational success.
And middle management is the linchpin.
Absolutely. Top brass needs their support for goals, for change. Middle managers direct resources, shape how things actually work. Omikoshi highlights they're doing the heavy carrying.
So the study's bottom line on embedding Omikoshi.
It concludes Omikoshi blends humane values and efficiency, insight. When people work with hearts as much as heads, supporting middle management, it puts that crucial layer and broad employee support front and center.
Leading to better organizations overall.
That's the argument. Applying Omikoshi can foster more encouraging, visionary, democratic, creative places. Valuing everyone's part in carrying the load reduces stress, counterproductive behavior. The claim, Western management gets more efficient when people feel valued without regarding how heavy the Mikoshi is, leading to better well-being, work, and sustainability.
That's quite profound. Prioritizing the collective, valuing participation even if it's hard to measure, builds a stronger, more humane organization.
It recognizes that the heaviest loads need carrying together. Strength comes from everyone feeling part of that shared carry.
Well, this has been a really fantastic deep dive. We've traced Western management's path from command and control towards people and systems, the hard S's.
Explored the Japanese approach philosophy, people-centric systems like TPS, Ringy, excelling in the soft S's.
Saw that amazing Honda example in Alabama, removing distractions, blending data, and human senses. Really inspiring.
And unpacked Omikoshi management, that powerful metaphor of collective effort, shared responsibility, middle management carrying the load, moving beyond individual blame.
And a big takeaway seems to be these approaches, while different, might not be mutually exclusive. There's potential, especially via Omikoshi and modern trends, for blending, adding that collective focus to more individualistic systems.
Finding that synergy between structure and spirit, systems and shared purpose. Yeah.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener. How can you take that Honda idea of removing distractions to create more focus in your own work or team?
Or, thinking about Omikoshi, how might you embody that spirit of carrying the Mikoshi, supporting your team, contributing collectively, even when your specific input isn't easily measured, just part of the group's success?
Consider the power that shared carry. What happens when the focus shifts from who's carrying the most to just ensuring the Mikoshi moves forward together?